All right, bang, bang. We are back after the Northern Trust. D. Reed is wearing the Texas Longhorn shirt for Mr. Scotty. That's right. He let us down on Sunday, or at least let me down on Sunday a little bit. But let's review last week. How did we turn out? And we'll start with you, Price.
Rough week for me. So I made the decision to bet Burger and bet Wolf, and then use Finau and Woodland and DK. And so my 4-6 missed with those two guys, although I did cash in both double ups. And then I hit a little bit in showdown round 2, 3, and then round 4, Scheffler and Usti just blew up for me. But I mean, it was a good week. This DJ just destroyed everybody. I mean, 172 DraftKings points, 30 under. I mean, and at what, like 70% owned.
Yeah.
Just absolutely crushed it. I saw people cash for 3 or 6 that had DJ. Like, it's unbelievable if you have someone who goes off like that. And it just goes to show you how good he really is when it's all clicking. I mean, for years we've all wanted to see him and Rory at their peak going up against each other with both playing lights out. And we got a glimpse of what happens with him. And when he's playing like that, nobody in the world can beat him.
Yeah.
But
cool
overall, okay, it's good fade.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't fade a guy like that. And if anybody watched my fades of the week, obviously everything, especially at the top, a fade's not necessarily a fade. I just didn't like DJ because his sporadicness, sometimes. And, of course, he goes out and just destroys everybody. So that being said, I didn't have a great week. I was heavy-handed on Finau and Woods. I really like that 8,000 range, and most of those guys didn't perform very well that I went with. So rough week for me. It's going to happen, but moving on to this week and looking for better things.
For sure. So luckily me playing 5 or 6 lineups paid off a little bit this week, last week at least. I was able to make some money back, about half of my money back from going 4-6 as well, just like Price. A couple different guys missed the cut, but it was a rough week. The leaderboard on Thursday and Friday just was baffling to me. It was people that I was not expecting to be up there. So I was just like, what is this course and what is happening? It was nice knowing that DJ, I was off all week, and he went off, so I didn't feel like, hey, I could have got this one right. It was just a week. You're not going to get it right, and that's going to happen. You can't, especially if you play. I play a lot of tournaments. You can't win every week, and I would rather finish dead last than barely miss the cash, or even just be right there. I would rather just be last, honestly. So showdowns, I didn't do good either. So I will round 3 I won, and then round 4 I lost it all back. So it was kind of a wash on showdowns for me. But let's get on now. We don't have a cut. Does it feel like a WGC we'll get into? But Price, give us the layout of this week.
All right, so this week they're going to be playing at the North Course at Olympia Fields. It's a very long par 70. It's 73.66. So it's mostly going to be bent on the greens with a little bit of POA. And then it's supposed to be super long rough. I think they've said it's up to 5 inches. So very penal. If you're not accurate with the drive, that's more than likely going to cost you. The 2 par 5s are over 600 yards. 5 or 6 par 4s that are 450 to 500 with one that's over 500 yards. And one of the par 3s will play up to 280 yards, which is super long for the PGA Tour. Most tours pitch about anything over about 210. So you'll have one that plays from 230 to 280. There hasn't been much PGA play here. A lot of amateurs play in college. This is where they have tournaments. So you have some course history if you go that route. You'll have guys like Wolf, McNeely, Shelton, who have played well in whenever they've been here. But for the most part, it looks like you need people who are long and accurate. Just like most weeks, it's a little bit smaller green, so you're going to want some decent around the green game, and also if you're not going to have a good around the green, you need someone who's going to be green regulation all the time. But for the most part, that's going to be it. I don't see any weather concerns as of now, but it'll be interesting to see what they do to the course, since there were some people who complained about how easy last week was with DJ shooting 30 under. I was talking with one of the guys in Slack about they might rake the bunkers differently. So I guess instead of doing it like vertical, they would do it horizontal. That way, if you miss and you're in the bunker, you don't have a preferred line. It's kind of buried, so it makes it more difficult. And that they've done it before at the Memorial. Jack did it just to kind of toughen it up, and they might end up implementing that in rounds 2 or 3 if they come out and destroy it round 1. But we are back to a no-cut event, so top 70, you don't have to worry about anybody missing a cut, and hopefully no one's going to withdraw from this since it is the playoffs.
Are you playing this like a WGC?
Yes, 100%. You don't have to worry about a guy blowing up and missing the cut. So even if you have a guy who shoots 80 the first day, if he comes out and shoots 600 the next 3 days, he finishes minus 10 and gets a ton of DK points, you're still good.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get into what our picks are this week, some betting towards the end, definitely want to make sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and turn on that notification bell. And if you want to go to dfsdads.com, you can check out all of our materials behind a paywall. But you can check it out. Just type RC or route combo and the coupon. You can try it out for a week or a month. Might as well, right? What do you have to lose? You can see all of our picks. We do our cash cord to make it as simple as possible for the double ups. And then we have a lot of other good content, and you can join our Slack. And if you are a member, I sent out all the invitations to all of the premium members. But if you, there's still a few that did not respond to that, and just hit us up and we'll definitely resend that invite for you. All right, let's look at Price eating on the call here.
Hey, long day at work.
I don't
I didn't get home till 8:45.
Well, we have the top of the range here. We got 6. We'll let the food digest there and hit up D Reed. What you got for us?
Yeah, like Price said, no cut. You want guys that are gonna score and score often, which all of these guys can, right? But coming off recent form, I think DJ's if you want to go high end guy and then kind of get some lower end guys, I think DJ. I mean, obviously the dude freaking destroyed it last week. Finished second the week before. So can he keep that rolling? To be determined, but he's definitely a guy that can score. I'm also like a Rom here. Played well last week after not playing so great. So I think it's another guy that can score in bunches. I mean, they all can, but if I had to pick the 2, I would pick the top 2 here. Bryson's just been kind of sporadic, and then Rory just hasn't shown much. I mean, he's just been very average. Webb's played well, longer course, but I feel better about the top two guys in the 10 up range.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of things. Well, the one thing I know is DJ is not going to shoot 30 under this week. He might shoot 20 under and win, but I just don't think he's going to get to 30 under. With that said, I personally like a lot of the plays in the upper 9K range or in the 9K range. And I don't know, I feel like it's hard to there's reasons to play all these guys. So, but for me personally, I'm going to just take it down to the next bracket. So I'll let Price kind of, what are you thinking of these 6 guys up here in this from 10-1 to Webb to DJ?
I mean, fading DJ this week will be tough, but I mean, that's why you have to make decisions that are going to be tough no matter what an event like this. Because they priced it kind of where if you're going to use DJ, it makes it pretty tough to fit in 2 other people who you really like. which is good. I mean, you need to press someone up who just obliterated the field. I think my favorite would be Bryson in this range. He rates out pretty well for me. Obviously, he's long off the tee. He won here as an amateur. So, I mean, he has the game. The biggest thing will be just his mental approach to everything, where he doesn't just throw a fit and then get off course and then blow up, which he's done the last couple of weeks. But he can't miss a cut this week. So if you get someone who, no matter what on the 2 par 5s, can get home into, on the par 4s that are 500 yards or 450, he'll have driver wedge in. So it doesn't matter if he's in the rough. You smash it 380 off the tee, you still have 160 in. He'll hit a pitching wedge or a 9-iron. It sucks because Rory rates out really well, but that dude just doesn't have it since the restart.
The other thing about Rory is his price is so enticing. 10-3 is cheap.
I think if you're going to be contrarian, it's Webb. I don't think anyone plays a 10-1 Webb. Not when you have Xander right below him, Rory, DeChambeau right above him. You're either going to – I'd say you either play Xander, Berger, or move up, and no one touches Webb.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment. I mean, you look at Kava obviously missed the cut, but has a win. Berger obviously is playing really well, and then Xander's freaking top 20 machine this year. So
yeah.
So let's get into the 9K range with you, since you love it so much.
I do. I mean, I got all my goons, as I would say here. Price's guy, Scotty, all the way up to Xander, who I think everybody loves Xander. Not everybody, but 20% of the field at least every single week, it feels like. But I'm actually think I'm going to start all of my lineups with the duo of – and I've never played this guy. I think he's a great player, borderline elite. But I'm gonna go with the old Berger. He ranks number 1 in the model for me. And he's number 6 in the field from 450 to 500 for par 4s, which is very valuable. And then I think this is going to be I know it's going to be a long iron course. And Kawa at 9,500 is my next play. He didn't play good last week, and I actually like that. I enjoy that. It means he's going to be bouncing back as the playoffs. He ranks number 2 in my model, so I'm going to go and trust the model and play my number 1 and number 2 guys there, and then take it from there. And that's also going to give me a lot of leverage on not dipping too much into the 6K range and have a little bit more of a balanced approach, and hope that somebody like JT or Bryson doesn't just go bananas and ruin everybody's lineup that faded that top range.
Yeah, the biggest thing to remember, if you're not going to play the top end guys, like DJ and Rom have to basically top 3 to pay off. So if they don't finish top 3 in DK points, then you're still fine.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on, I texted y'all Sunday evening and said it's a long iron course. It's more car a week. Because that dude is money. If you go back to the last 12 rounds, I have him number 2 in strokes gained, tee to green, 1 in approach, 1 in opportunities gained, 1 in proximity, 4th in good drives, 10th off the tee. He's just been beast mode.
The price range too, it went back down to manageable.
He should be the most popular and highest owned golfer at 9,500.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be.
A year ago, he wouldn't have been because people they were leery of playing someone off a miscut, but that's changed. Berger's been phenomenal. Since the restart, he leads the entire PGA in strokes gained.
Yeah.
I'm going to fade Day again. I'm not a Day person, and why play him when you can play my boy Scotty, 200 cheaper? I mean, what's Scotty done the last 4 times out besides just ball out?
Yeah.
I was telling Dustin earlier, he was so focused, he just let his caddy, lay on the ground in pain while he finished out putting. But I'm with you on Xander too. I don't want to pay $9,900 for him when I can get Berger or Kawa for cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Scotty in the position here at the low end, 9K even. Obviously a Texas kid, but Price has been on him all year long. Even when he wasn't playing well, he mentioned him and saying, "Look, this guy's going to put it all together." Just looking back at his college days, but we want guys that can score, and we know that he can score. No cut. I feel like he's one that can go out there. He might shoot a 9 under again, then follow it up with a okay day, right? But he's going to score, and so I look for some Scotty and some lineups. I love Berger. I really like this whole range minus Day. Just not sold on him at 9,200. The other guys have proven, this year that A, they can win, but B, that, they're perennial, top 10 for the most part. So, I really like this range. I probably won't go 2 like Chris, but I like Xander Berger and Scheffler are my 3 that I like for this 9K and up.
What do you think about the 8K range?
Intriguing again. Last week 8K was my favorite. I mean, I really like it again, and I think this week it could pay off. You're looking at a Patrick Reed, Finau, Woods, Hideki. I mean, those 4 guys right there, I think, can be just as good as any of the 9K guys. I really like Woods again. He raced well in my model. I know he didn't have the week that that I thought he was going to have, but we saw some good signs on Sunday. He came out blazing. It was like 500 through the first 5 holes or whatever. But eventually he's going to put it all together, and he hasn't played a ton like some of these other guys. So back-to-back weeks, I think he's going to play well. He's great with irons, and that'll be a big point for this week. Not huge on Finau. He burned me last week. I don't know. I just don't have that great feeling about him this week. Love Hideki at 8,500. Rates really, really high in my model. I think let me see what he is here. He's number 9. Checks a lot of boxes. Really his worst stat is 3-putt avoidance on my model. But that means he's getting a lot of putts, right? So he's been playing well lately. He's an elite golfer. So at 8,500, I think a lot of my lineups are going to start there.
What are you, Price? Where you at?
I love Decky this week. He rates out super high. He's been playing better, hitting his irons better, 3 straight top 30s. I think he's probably the safest play. I'm a different mindset. I think Finau coming off a miscut is a perfect bounce back candidate. If he comes in as being under-owned, I'm going to figure out a way to have him in my lineup because he's too good of a scorer. He just didn't play well, tee to green last week. The 3 tournaments leading up to that, he gained like 8, 9 strokes tee to green. So he just fell apart there and then lost 4 strokes putting, which he's going to do from time to time. But I really like Hovland. We rode him last week. He had a great start to Sunday. Just came out blazing and then kind of fizzled the last couple holes. But
are you worried with Hovland is around the green at all with it being smaller greens?
Yes, but the last month and a half or so, he's really worked on his around the green. He had a new coach help him. So it's improved. I mean, he was atrocious. Now it's a lot better. He doesn't really, I don't know. He usually will do okay, then go ballistic on Sunday.
Yeah.
So the only problem if he doesn't go ballistic on Sunday, then you're kind of screwed. I really like Wolf again. I mean, he did well in college here. He bombs it. We've all liked playing him. He checks every box besides proximity from 175 to 200. Of course, my boy Adam Scott at 8,200 also. Love him. He rates out really high for me. The guy who rates the second on my model who I'm fading again is Caitling, which it pains me because how I am on Scotty Scheffler is how I was on Cantley in 2018. I played him every tournament. I loved him coming in. But I don't know. I guess my last pick would be between Tiger or Kiz. And it sounds crazy to, but hey, who would you rather play, Kevin Kisner or Tiger Woods? But I mean, Kiz rates out higher for me across the board, and he's been playing great lately. I think it's back-to-back top fives. Been putting lights out, and I mean, Kiz is awesome. I don't know if you don't follow him on social media. He just has a riot and just has fun, does whatever he wants to do. But that's pretty much it. I don't really want to touch Patrick Reed, Cantlay, or it pains me again, Usti. He rates out pretty poorly for me, even though he had a good week last week.
No Billy Ho.
I'm passing on Billy Ho, and Harris English actually rates out 58 for me. So, I mean, he's been top 20 pretty much every tournament this season. I'm just not there this week.
Yeah, my guy at the very start doing the research, Hovland at 8,100 seems to me like a steal. Ranks 7th in my model. And his around the green with smaller greens worries me, and also his putting, because he's been gaining so many strokes. The last two, I believe it was 5 and 4. Let me see. Yeah, five strokes of Northern Trust, and the last tournament 4.9. So I worry if that goes back to its mean, or with this new coach, he's been working around the green. Is his putting improving, and is this here to stay? Kind of how Gary Woodland has been. If it is, 8,100 really sticks out to me as a really good play. And I'm right there with Price on Finau as well. He's number one on my model, 450 to 500 par fours. I actually like that he missed the cut and didn't play well off the tee. It doesn't bother me at all. Hopefully he'll be a little bit lower owned. His price is pretty good. And then Hideki as well is starting to light it up, and his irons are money. Talking about money irons and made through his whole career is Tiger Woods. I have some interest in Tiger, but I don't know if he's going to make the final build because I have, with those 97, 95 plays, I got to figure out how to cut up some cash a little bit. I might have to just fall back down to the lower end of the 8Ks with someone like a Hovland or a Wolf, Adam Scott, Paul Casey, kind of Billy Ho area, and choose right there and really dig in a little bit deeper. But let's get to the 7K range. Dustin, who's kind of popping out at you at the first look?
I love Bubba Watson, 7,600. He's been playing really well, rates well in my model. 7,600. You can do a lot of adjustments with your lineups, plugging a 7,600 guy in. So, I think a lot of upside there. And I think, he's been playing great. He rates well in my model, checks a lot of boxes. Why wouldn't I play him? So that's my number one guy in the 7K range. Another guy I'm looking at, and I hate it because I don't like to play him, and he's a cheap ass, but Matt Kuchar. It's like, but he's been playing okay. He's decent in my model, and at 7,400, he's a guy that's been there. He knows how to perform. So I kind of like that. Some intriguing plays here. You see Gary Woodland at 7,800. Is very intriguing. We've been on him a lot this year. My fade from last week that kind of gave me the middle finger, Brendan Todd, which I do not like here again, by the way. So Kevin Na's intriguing, 7,300. I think he can play well. He's what is he on my model here? He's 15th on my model. Really, his negatives are 450 to 500 par fours. It's kind of where he's lower at, but His proximity from 175 to 200 is number 4. So intriguing guy there. So those kind of the guys I've been looking at so far this week. But like I said, I'll be all in on Bubba for sure at 7,600.
Yeah, I would say when I take my first glance and dive in, one that sticks out in the model wise is Russell Henley, 7,800. He ranks 5th for me. Tee to green 2, bogey avoidance 2, approach 1, good drives 1 in the model. So he has a lot of stuff popping there if he can get his flat stick rolling. And there's no cut this week, so I think he has potential to really go low and pay off that 7,800 price tag. I have no problem with the Bubba pick at all. I'm kind of neutral on him this week, but where I'm really tempted to go. He played good as an Cam Champ. I really want to play Cam Champ this week at 7,500. Off the tee, ranks number 2. And I believe last week his putting was just pretty bad. I think he lost 3 strokes putting last week. And I just got to take some chances. And I think Cam Champ is a good chance to take. That's where I'm at in the 7K range. Talk to us, Price.
So this is back-to-back weeks. Brendan Todd is ranked dead last for me. He literally was 125th last week, and he's 70th this week.
I faded him.
The guy who's 69th in mine is Cam Champ. Of course, he has done well here, and Cam's one of those guys who just when he gets going, he gets going.
Yep.
Woodland I joked with you guys Friday afternoon when he had to chip in on 18 to make it around 9. He ended up double bogeying because he gave no fucks and just 3-putted from 5 feet.
Yeah, your sharp on that one was amusing.
But all of us are on Bubba. Bubba rates out great. The only thing you're going to have to deal with is him missing all those 5, 6, 8-foot putts. But
I feel his pain.
Similar to another lefty I know.
Yeah, I'm a lefty, and I don't like I long range. I can putt those 5-footers, man.
But Joaquin Neiman rates out really high. I don't think I'm going to use him because he's infuriating the fucking roster.
Yeah, I hate roster.
But the guys who rate out the best for me are Adam Hadwin. Kevin Na's pretty high for me too. And then Chris's boy, Jason Kokrak. Who did well here last year, rates out good at everything except around the green and putting, which is scary. But that dude, when he goes, he goes. But I do like Russell Henley, like you were talking about, Chris. He's been so steady the last 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, it's a good price point too.
This will be the first week I don't talk about Answer, so he'll probably top 5.
Yeah, so the whole Answer is this great golfer has really bit me the last few weeks. Not that you never said he was a great golfer, but I just keep rostering him because he's in such spots where it's easy to roster, and he's just horrible. He sucks.
What about your boy Connors this week, Price?
No.
You did well here last year.
I did an adjustment the last 2 weeks. So I normally don't really weight putting because I don't really give a shit about it. But that's why people like him always pop up really high. So I moved it from 1% to 5%, and he dropped to 50th in my model. But I don't see a reason to use him. Leishman, hard pass. But I really want to like Ryan Palmer. I can never get there with him.
I'm the same.
But the guy who rates out poorly, who I really wanted to rate out well, is Noren. Chris knows for fucking a year straight. I said Noren's the number 10 golfer in the world for a reason.
And you kept playing him, and
I kept playing him. He kept missing the fucking cut.
And then he stopped playing him, and he got 5th, I think, at something.
But he missed the cut at the Memorial and then 3rd place, 19th at the PGA, and 8th last week. The problem is he's just getting everything putting. You mean 7 strokes when he got third, 3.5 at the PGA, and over 5 last week. So it's kind of tough to go there. But I mean, God, I want to use them. You got to be smart, and that's why you have a model. It shows you the stats and why you don't pick people who you just like their name and you like the golfer.
So what about Sanjay M?
Oh man,
He messed up my cash lineup last week pretty badly. I thought he was a safe play.
I mean, he's played really bad basically since the Charles Schwab. He got 10th on the first tournament back and then miscut 58th, 53rd, 63rd miscut, 35th miscut, 9th at the Wyndham and then miscut. I'm out. It just doesn't make sense. You can get someone else. I mean, he's 100 more than Bubba.
So if you had to pick one guy here for who's going to get the most DraftKings points, I mean, because it seems like all of us have a few people we actually like. Who's the one guy you'd bet on for the DraftKings points?
Bubba.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not bet Bubba there, right?
You don't like that, Chris, but it's gonna happen.
Especially it's 76 too. It's not even like he's 7,900. Like that's 300 savings of. I don't know because I'm really stuck between Henley and Woodland is the two golfers I keep comparing. I feel like in my builds, and I might just have to drop down to Bubba and then see where I can add something.
I would rate Henley over Woodland for the week. Henley actually rates lower in my model, but just how he's played.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You can't just go pure model all the time, honestly.
And now the fun range. This is where if you're gonna go start some scrubs, you gotta be good down here.
Yeah, if you think those top golfers are going to win the tournament, you got to make your way down here to the 6K range. The good thing is they're all going to make the cut.
True that.
We got Dustin's boy Richie
and Dahmen.
So there is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys here who did fantastic, or 5 guys who did great in college here. So this is where they held US Amateur, and they also would have a tournament here every year for college. Gooch has played well. Adam Long played really well. Shelton McNeely won it twice. So his form is trash coming in, but he's familiar with the course, and obviously it's not the same talent level, but he's beat them twice. He won it twice down here. Shrilin rates out pretty high. Long actually rates the best for me besides out of anyone who has course history, he rates the best in this range for me. But the 2 guys who I really like, I love Gooch this week. He's been on a tear lately. I've wanted to use him every week. I just haven't gotten there. So I'm going to try to fit him in this week. And I like Benny Ann. I didn't really think I'd like him earlier in the day, but then looking into his stats, I don't have to worry about him missing a cut. Yes, he's one of the worst putters in the world whenever it's not working, but I mean, look at his tee to green, his off the tee, his around the green, his proximity. He's top 10 in a lot of the stats we're looking at. Or if you want to go straight troll, Jim Herman week, let's give him another win.
for sure. So this was an interesting section here where some of the guys last week just jumped up, like Brian Harmon. I think he finished 11th or something like that last week, and then who else? Danny Lee was just skying high on Thursday and Friday, I believe, and I was just like, what is going on with this leaderboard here?
18th, I think he finished.
Yeah, I do like Brian Harmon's form with, like last week, for instance, he finished 11th. He only gained one stroke putting. Now I know this course doesn't necessarily fit to his style with the length, but I mean that's pretty good form last week. And pretty good price. So that's someone that I feel like every time I play him, he does really well. And then I don't play him for months at a time. And then last week I saw him with the leaderboard. And I was like, man, this might be a play, a sleepy little play. 1,600 though. I wish his price was a little cheaper. I do like Price's guy Gooch. And then everything else other than that, I think is pretty. I don't know. I don't really know where else I would want to go to, but I like Brian Harmon down there and Gooch, but I'm going to try to stay in the 7K range personally.
Yeah, I kind of am trying to avoid this range if I can. Like you said, Danny Lee kind of stands out. He got 18th. Sebastian Munoz kind of is intriguing to me, and Fratelli as well. There's three guys. I mean, Fratelli obviously missed the cut last week, but had played pretty good before that. The last 4 tournaments, I think it was like a couple top 20s.
Yeah. Fourth and 450 to 500 with Fratelli as well.
Yeah, so there's some guys. Yeah, like you said, that there's some guys here that are intriguing as far as if you have to go down there, but they require a little bit more digging and really trying to figure out who's going to give you the best bang for your buck, given the course and the layout and whatnot. So, I think there's obviously, I mean, you look at some of the guys that finished here last week, Gooch 18th, Lee 18th, Sebastian Munoz 18th. They all tied 18th. You have Harmon tied 11th. And those are all these guys are 6,000 and up. So all those guys played well last week. So, are they going to play well this week? Who knows, right? There's 6,000 for a reason. But, there's definitely some intriguing plays. It'll just be, how they rate, how they've been playing, and some of those factors.
So I guess we're going to just ignore the 3M Open champion, Michael Thompson there, 6,200. Any thoughts on that guy, Price?
Pretty much. Cut last 2 weeks.
Who?
PGA Tour winner.
No. So, honestly, I'd rather play McNeely over him at that price, or Danny Lee or Adam Long. I think Adam Long could be a really good play. He tends to do decent at these no-cut events whenever he actually gets into the field. And if you're going to need birdies, Adam Long is pretty good at it. But like I said, I think Gooch, Long, and Benny Ian are the 3 guys to look at down here.
And Long's been playing pretty good. I mean, he's made 4 straight cuts. He got second at the 3M that you're talking about there, Chris. So, it's a guy that's obviously been making cuts, and then you get a no-cut event. Obviously, he can score. So, he gains a lot of strokes off the tee. So I like Long there too.
So do you think, Price, that Stars and Scrubs is a viable option this week with the 6K range?
Yes. So let's say, let me pull up DraftKings and just make a dummy lineup where you start with 2 of these guys. So the 2 I would look at would be Long and Gooch. So you start there. That leaves you an average of 9,200 per. And so we all like Bubba. You throw him as your third, and you got 9,800 to finish out. I mean, that's pretty strong.
You can go Berger and a couple other big names.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not a bad
So
lineup.
it gives you some options, but you also got to realize that Long and Gooch are not going to win this tournament. It's going to be one of the top end guys. If someone less than 8,000 wins, I'd be very surprised. I mean, there's a reason these guys are on the field. Usually when you get into this, it's like a major, which is what WGCs are typically strong to. And so you have all these guys who really want to. I mean, who doesn't want to win $10 million, right? Let's be real. So you got the guys pushing there. You also got the guys who are trying to move up so they can play next week, so they can get ready for Wingfoot in a couple of weeks also. But I think Stars and Scrub is viable just because it's a no cut, and there's a couple guys down here that I really like. I probably won't do it.
And you look at an event like last week, Stars and Scrubs would have worked out fine as long as you had the right scrubs.
Because, I mean, look at if you go that route, then you can go what? Xander, Berger, Kawa to finish with those three. And you get three guys in the 9K range who all three of those guys have, winning potential.
Yep.
But it'll be interesting to see what kind of gets talked up. I have a feeling, obviously, in events like this, balanced build is typically more popular. So if that's going to be more popular and you want to be contrarian, then, I mean, shit, what's more contrarian than starting with Bryson Webb? Who's going to really do that? Nobody.
Yeah.
So is Caldwell going to be the highest owned golfer this week?
I think so, personally. I mean, it's such a great price point for him. Really 9,500. He's won on tour twice. He beat all the big boys at the PGA Championship.
Yeah, I think any of those 9K guys.
Oh.
Yeah, Berger
is projected the highest owned at 24% right now.
Yeah, I was going to say Berger, Xander, or Morikawa, I would think would be. If you can build a more balanced lineup. People get scared when they, pick a DJ or a Rahm, and then have to go down and pick guys they're not really familiar with, without doing a lot of research. So I think that's where a lot of the.
What's sad is Finau looks like he's the fifth. So there goes that edge. It would have been nice for people to be like, no, let's not play him. He missed the cuts. Angered everybody.
Everybody's doubling down on him.
What about the bets price? Where are we at there?
Oh.
And if you don't know, we do a bunch of bets, but we're just going to give out a couple of freebies for you. So definitely check out the dfsdads.com.
So if you're going to go just straight odds, Morikawa at 22-1 is pretty solid for someone who's won on tour. I don't really like most of these numbers because I feel like a top guy's going to win, but they're priced so short that it's not really worth it. Bubba's 80-1 though, so I like Bubba at 80-1, and then maybe Wolf. I mean, get 40-1 on him, which is okay, but I like probably Kawa's my favorite bet at 22-1 there. I think you realistically want someone in the top end of this field that you're gonna, because I don't see anyone at the bottom winning, and so I think that's pretty solid odds. And then for first round leader, Decky, you get him at 33-1. And this is where you typically go a little bit longer odds because they can pay off for you. So someone like Joel Dahlman, who's usually pretty solid on Thursdays, he's at 80-1. And so is Gooch. So you get a couple of them, throw in a Wolf. Shit, you can even throw in a Cam Champ at 66-1, which is really not bad odds. And then if you're going to say, hey, one of the top end guys is going to do it, I mean, I'll take Bryson at 20-1 there.
Yeah.
I think those are probably some little freebies to throw out there that have a pretty good chance of hitting, I would imagine.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I love when you give Cam Champ some good love there. Makes me want to roster him even more.
Well, you and the other 6.9% of people who roster him can have at it.
Well, if I'm going to play Berger and Cowell, I got to do something.
That is true.
All right. Well, we're going to come out Wednesday with our deep dive. We're going to break down these numbers a little bit more in depth. So definitely check us out for the deep dive on Wednesday and hit us up in Slack with any questions you have. Try us out for a month. It's free. Might as well join the Slack, join the community. We'd appreciate it. And we will see y'all soon. Coming out with some more videos on the YouTube. So subscribe if you haven't. Till next week.